Hello friends, welcome to the Pathology Insights. In my previous video, I have discussed about the etiopathogenesis of the breast carcinoma, and today I'll be discussing about the classification of the breast carcinoma. So when we see the normal structure of the mammary gland, we have the lobules. In the lobules, we have the small alveoli which will be secreting, and these alveoli in the lobules, they will be opening into the lactiferous ducts. We have terminal ducts which will be opening into the main lactiferous ducts, and these lactiferous ducts will open in the nipple. So this entire one which have the alveoli, we call it as a lobule, and similar we have many lobules here. And the terminal duct lobular unit consists of the alveoli which are opening into the terminal duct. Now this terminal duct, it will open into the lactiferous duct. Now in between the alveoli, what we are seeing, we have intralobular stroma, and in between the lobules we have interlobular stroma. Okay, now you see these are the lobules. In between the lobules, the stroma what you have, this we call it as interlobular stroma, whereas in between the alveoli what we are having, we call it as intralobular stroma. This is important because some of the mesenchymal tumors like the fibrosarcomas or liposarcomas, they will be arising from the interlobular stroma, whereas the tumors like fibroadenoma and the phyllodes, they will be arising from the intralobular stroma. Anyway, in this video, we will be discussing about classification of only the breast carcinoma. I'm not going to discuss about the mesenchymal tumors, but just to know the normal morphology, I'm telling this. And this is the terminal duct lobular unit is the one from where we have most of the malignancies. Now, if you see the histology, the alveoli or the ducts, they are lined by two cell layer. Okay, the outermost layer, what you are seeing here, that is myoepithelial layer, whereas inner we have the luminal cell layer, what we call it as ductal epithelial cells. They will be continuing the similar morphology you have in the alveoli and in the ducts. Okay, so the alveoli and the ducts, both of them are double layered. Outer we have myoepithelial and inner we have the luminal layer or the ductal epithelial cells. Now coming to the classification, the breast tumors, they are divided basically into the benign lesions and the malignant lesions. And in the malignant lesions, we have in situ carcinomas and invasive carcinomas. Okay, the major difference between in situ carcinomas and invasive carcinomas is in the in situ carcinoma, the basement membrane, it remains intact. We don't have the invasion of the tumor cells beyond the basement membrane. Okay, so in the in situ carcinomas, again we have two types, ductal carcinoma in situ and lobular carcinoma in situ. If you see the ductal carcinoma in situ, these are the ducts. This is the cut section of the ducts what you are seeing. And in the ducts, as I told you, we have double layered. Outer we have myoepithelial cell layer, inner we have the luminal cells or ductal epithelial cells. So these ductal epithelial cells, when they have undergone the neoplastic transformations, the cells have proliferated and they are filling the entire duct. But if you see, the cells are confined only within the ducts and you have an intact myoepithelial layer outside. So this one we call it as ductal carcinoma in situ. Okay, and another one is lobular carcinoma in situ, where the tumor cells, they are confined to the alveoli. In the lobule, they are confined to the alveoli only. Okay, so you see here the intact myoepithelial cell layer is present and the cells are confined to the alveoli, and this is the duct. So from the duct we have ductal carcinoma in situ, and from the alveoli in the lobules we have the lobular carcinoma in situ, but both of them, they have the intact myoepithelial cell layer. Now when we see, that was about the in situ carcinoma. When we see the invasive carcinomas, we have two types of the classifications. One is the molecular classification and another one is the morphological classification. Okay, the molecular classification, it depends upon expression of the hormone receptors by the tumor cells. So we have estrogen receptors, progesterone receptors, HER2 new receptor and Ki67. This is a proliferative marker we have a proliferation labeling index by using the Ki67. So the tumor cells, how they are expressing these receptors, depending upon that we have the molecular classification. So we'll see in detail what is that classification. So before going into that molecular classification, let us see how the cells will be expressing these receptors. If you see, this is a normal ductal epithelial cells. These epithelial cells, they have the estrogen receptors on the nucleus. They are present in the nucleus. Estrogen and progesterone receptors both are present in the nucleus itself. Whereas when you see the HER2/neu receptors, they are present on the cytoplasm, on the membrane. On the cell membrane they are present. Now HER2, it's also called as human epidermal growth factor receptor 2. Other name for this is CD340, or it can be called as proto-oncogene or ERBB2. So these are all the other names for the HER2/neu. So when we do the immunohistochemistry for the tumor cells, if they are having the estrogen or the progesterone receptors, then the nucleus will be stained brown. You are seeing here the nucleus will be stained brown because the receptors will take up that chromogen. So this is how it appears in the photomicrographs, in the slide in the microscope. All the nucleus of the tumor cells, they will be staining brown in color. If they don't have the ER or the PR receptors, then the nucleus will not take up the stain. But if they have the receptors, then they will take up the stain. Similarly, for the HER2/neu, because they are having the receptors on the cytoplasm, when we do the immunohistochemistry, the cell membrane will stain brown. Okay, and this is how it appears in the photomicrographs. You see how clear the membranes are. This is because the membrane has this HER2/neu, and this HER2/neu receptor, it has been stained by the chromogen. So this is the difference in the expression of them. And Ki67, that is also the nuclear, it also gives the nuclear staining only. It also appears similarly only. So as I told you, we have the molecular classification, which is based on ER/PR, HER2/neu and Ki67. Depending upon the expression of these markers, it has been classified into 4 types. We have luminal A, luminal B, HER2-rich, and the basal type. Now how they are differentiated? The luminal A, we call the tumor as a luminal A. When the tumor cells, they express ER receptors, PR receptors, but they don't express the HER2/neu receptors. They are negative for HER2/neu receptors, and the proliferative index is very low. Ki67 index is very low. Now these tumors, they respond to the endocrine therapy like the tamoxifen. So they give against these estrogen receptors, so this endocrine therapy will work out for them, and they have a good prognosis. Luminal A type. Now luminal B type, here we have the tumor cells which will express ER receptors, PR receptors. They are also negative for HER2/neu, but Ki67 will be high. Like the cells are proliferating fastly, the proliferative index is high. And in this also another type is that the luminal B, where you have the tumor cells which are positive for ER receptors, PR receptors, HER2/neu receptors, and here the proliferative marker can be low or high. Now this also has a good prognosis, but not as good as luminal A. And even the endocrine therapy, the response also, this also has a response, but not as good as a luminal A. Now you see the third one, that is HER2 enriched. HER2 enriched means both ER and PR are negative. The tumor cells doesn't have these receptors. They just have only the HER2/neu receptors. Then we call it as HER2 enriched. Now in this the Ki67, it can be low or high. And here the response is to Herceptin, because we have to use the HER2 receptors to block these cells. So they use the Herceptin, which acts on the HER2 receptor positive cells. Now this has unfavorable prognosis. It's not good. Whereas the last one is basal like or the triple negative. Triple negative means all the 3 hormone receptors are negative. And the Ki67 in this will be very high. Usually these tumors doesn't have the low Ki67. The proliferation marker will be high, and they don't have any response to endocrine therapy because all the receptors are negative. Endocrine therapy will not function on these tumors, And the prognosis, this type of the tumors have the worst prognosis. Okay, this is a molecular classification. The molecular subtypes what we have is luminal A, luminal B, HER2 enriched, and the basal-like or the triple negative. Now when we see the morphological, this was the molecular classification. When we see the morphological classification, it has been classified as no special type, invasive ductal carcinoma. This is typical adenocarcinoma, ductal adenocarcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma, no special type. And we have the special types of the carcinomas. Special types means they have a specific histological picture, morphological tumor cells have specific morphological patterns in this. Then we call it as a special type. Now in this we have papillary carcinoma, invasive lobular carcinoma, tubular carcinoma, medullary carcinoma, inflammatory carcinoma, mucinous carcinoma, metaplastic carcinoma, and cribriform carcinomas. These are all the special types of the carcinomas. So just to remember, paint me in MMC. So PA stands for papillary carcinoma, IN stands for invasive lobular carcinoma, T stands for tubular carcinoma, ME is for the medullary carcinoma, IN is inflammatory carcinoma, M is mucinous carcinoma, another M metaplastic, C for the cribriform carcinomas. So these are the special types. So I think it's clear. Morphological, no special type, which is just the ductal carcinoma. This is a type of adenocarcinoma, and you have a special type where you have special histological pattern in these tumors. Now, what are the types, the morphological types, in what molecular subtypes they come? Is luminal A type. In the luminal A type, we have invasive ductal carcinoma NOS, which is low grade. In the end, we have classical lobular carcinoma, cribriform carcinoma, tubular, and mucinous. Remember that the ductal carcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma NOS, can be of luminal A, luminal B, HER2 enriched or basal-like. Low grades will be usually they are luminal A, whereas high grades they will be of luminal B, HER2 new enriched or basal-like. The remaining carcinomas are very specific, like the lobular carcinoma, cribriform, tubular, mucinous. These are usually luminal A type, means they are ER/PR positive, HER2 negative, and you have a low Ki67. And luminal B type, we have in this also we have invasive carcinoma NOS, and we have the micropapillary carcinoma also in this. Whereas HER2 new enriched, usually they are high-grade carcinomas, high-grade invasive ductal carcinomas NOS. And the triple negative or the basal-like carcinomas, in that we have high-grade invasive carcinomas, the high-grade invasive ductal carcinomas NOS, metaplastic, and medullary. Now, inflammatory carcinoma is the left of. This carcinoma is mostly it is HER2 enriched type, or it is triple negative type of the molecular. In the molecular subtypes, it can be triple negative or HER2 enriched. The worst prognosis among all this is for the inflammatory carcinomas. This has the worst prognosis. Now that finishes. So this is the summary. When you're reading about the classification, remember the malignant lesions classified as in situ and invasive. In situ we have ductal carcinoma in situ, lobular carcinoma in situ. Invasive we have molecular classification, morphological classification. In the molecular classification, based on the ER/PR, HER2 new, Ki67, we have luminal A, luminal B, HER2 rich, and basal type of the triple negative. Whereas in the morphological classification, we have no special type, invasive ductal carcinoma, and the special types of the carcinomas like the papillary, lobular, tubular, medullary, inflammatory, mucinous, metaplastic, and the cribriform carcinomas. So that finishes the classification of the carcinomas. Thank you, friends. In my next video, I'll be talking about the morphology of the breast carcinomas. Thank you.